12-bar blues, the most famous chord progression I think there is, and it goes right from basic a chord progression in the 12-bar. You can just go for them 3 chords, up to we can throw in 7th chords, 9th chords. We can throw in diminished, and just do them passing chords in between, just to fill out that space a bit and make it sound a bit more driving and interesting. So yeah, I just want to start with just the basics of it really. And I'm just going to stick to the key of A for now. So 3 chords needed for the 12-bar blues. If we're in A, we go from A7, D7, E7, back to A7. Just them 3 chords. And attached to this lesson should be a PDF of all these chord shapes and the chord progression on it as well. So in just the basic 12-bar blues, we're going to go, let's go 1 bar of A, 1 bar of D, 2 bars of A, 2 bars of D, 2 bars of A, E7, D7, A7, back to E7. So I'll just go through it quick. And the strumming pattern we're going to use is what I've just done in the intro, so like just a classic shuffle groove. So it will just be, I'll just do it on the A7 for a couple of bars just to show you. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that, and we're going to go through that chord progression with that strumming pattern. So let's just go through it now. So we're going to start off with A, 1, 2, 3, A7, D7, back to A7 for 2, D7, A7, E7, D7, A7, E7. Back to that beginning. So that's them 12 bars, and we just put them on loop, and it's wicked for starting over. So that's our basic open chord to 12 bars. Let's move it into bar chords now. So A7 bar chord from the 5th fret, we're going to play that shape there. And then we're going to move it to the D7 right next door to that D7 shape. Slide it up to the 7th, and we've got that E7, just there. So let's just go through that form again with these new bar chord shapes, just the 7th chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, D, A7, D7, A7, up to E7, D7, A7, E7, and that's just all them bar chord 7th shapes. So that's just our basic 12-bar blues, and it's fundamental. You get this in your playing. You just want to hear where them changes go. You don't even have to think about it. You just know it's coming. So yeah, it's integral to get that into your playing if you want to start playing the blues. So after that, the next step is to throw in some 9th chords. So the 9th chords, you can start off with just a regular A7, and then when you go to the D and the E, you want to use 9th chords, which just makes it sound a bit more bluesy. That's what you expect to hear, these sort of chords in that sort of B.B. King, Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of stuff. So to do them 9th chords, I'll just show you it. So it's going to be rooted off the A string. So when we do a D9, we're going to be 2nd finger on the D, which is the 5th fret of the A, 1st finger on the 4th of that D, 3rd finger on the 5th of the G, and fourth finger on the fifth of the B. And we want to forget about these two E's on each side. We just want to play A, D, G, B. So that's our D9. If you slide it up 2, you've got the E9. So get that shape down, practice manoeuvring it about the neck. We want it to feel nice and comfortable. So let's do the 12 bar again. Regular form as we've done. A7, D9, E9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, D9, A7, D9, A7, E9, D9, A7, up to E9. And that's our next step of the 12 bar. Next step after that, we can make all the chords into ninths, which makes it sound cool. So to make the A7 into an A9, what I'm going to do is I'm going to root off the A, obviously, 5th fret of that E on my second finger. Third finger comes across to the D, 5th fret. Fourth finger comes across to the B, 5th fret. And your first finger is going to just sit behind on that G on the 4th fret. And we want to mute this A. So how I do that is I sort of flatten this second just so it's touching the A. So that's muted there. And also with the fourth finger on that E, you want that touching so it doesn't ring out. And then you've got your A9. So let's do that 12 bar, all ninth chords this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, D9. A9, D9, A9, up to E9, D, A9, back up to E9. And there you've got your 12 bar. And obviously that can be moved up into different areas if you want to switch into keys. Just follow that same pattern. So if you wanted to move into C, for example, move up to the 8th fret, and you can play the 12 bar blues in any key you want, which is good. The next step after that, we can start putting in passing chords through them chords. So a good one to do that's pleasing to the ear is add in a diminished chord between the 4 and the 5, between the D9 and the E9. So to play this, I do a E flat diminished chord here, E flat diminished 7th. So second finger, we're going to come across to that E flat 6th fret A string. Third finger is going to come across to 7th fret D string. First finger is going to go to 5th fret G. Fourth finger is going to come across to 7th fret B. Bit of a horrible sounding chord when it's not in context in a chord progression, but when you put it in, it sounds great. So let's put that into a 12 bar blues. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. D9, E flat diminished. In your diminished 7th chord. So I'll just do that one more time. We're going to go, I'll do it broken apart for now, just so you can see where that transition comes in. A9 for a bar, D9 for 1 bar, back to A9 for 2 bars, then we go to D9 for 1 bar, up to E flat diminished 7th for 1 bar, back to A9 for 2 bars, then we go up to the E9, down to D9, down to the A9, up to the E9. So it's all pretty much exactly the same. You're just throwing in that E flat diminished 7th in replacement of that second bar of the D9. So let's just play that full speed again, just so you can have a play along. 1, 2, 3, 4. used to them chord patterns, get used to all of them chord shapes, write them down, just so you can get them in your head, get them in your memory, so there's no guesswork of where you're supposed to go next. Just really take your time, go through all them shapes, get them down. Another thing we can do in the 12 bar is I climb up to chords sometimes. So if I'm going from A9 to D9, I sort of start a tone behind the next chord I'm going to, which would be D9, and I climb up to it. So it would be. Just that. That sort of thing. And even when you do like a slow blues feel, it feels really good when you do that. So even when you go to the D9 or the E9, you can climb down to the E9, you can climb up to that D9. So in a slow blues feel, we'll go D9, climb down to the E9, that whenever you want, as long as you climb up and hit that chord at the right time. It's always going to sound nice in that sort of setting. So I hope that is that goes well with your playing. I hope you're able to get them all under your fingers and have some fun with it. Because once you've got the progression down, you know, you can stick in all these chords. Some real fun with it. There are lots more ways to add in some more chords, some more turnarounds in that 12 bar, but for now this is just the fundamentals of getting it down, and I'll make some more videos of when we can stick in some turnarounds at the end. So yeah, enjoy the practice. I hope it all goes well. Take your time with it, don't rush through it, really get to grips with it all. And if you're interested at all, I have a Patreon page which has all the PDF files for everything that I'm playing, so you have chord charts and chord shapes for everything needed for this. Link in the description is for that, so have a look, and yeah, thank you very much. Take care.